Hello everybody. Today we are here to show you how to take a trailer tire, like this is off of my boat. This is a 4.8 by 12 tire. Tire's bad. It's cracked and it's leaking. Thought it was valve stem, replaced the valve stem, wasn't, tire's leaking. So I got a new tire to go on it. And I'm going to show you how you can do this at home without any real special tools. First thing you want to do, let me flip you around here. First thing you want to do is get the air out of it. And since I told you the tire was cracked, there's not really anything in the way of air pressure. Now I got a simple kit for about 10 or 12 bucks to be able to replace these. It has several different sizes of the valve stem. It has a couple of removal tools for the cores. And several different variations of this with different heights and stuff like that. On the back side of this is going to be a number, and you just match the number to the back of the valve stem. I don't have any. Here's a bag of them, and on the back side of them is going to be a number somewhere. You just match that to whatever came out. I'm going to set all of this aside up here on my shelf. When you're changing the tire, there's a couple of things that are really hard. Breaking this bead is one of the worst, especially if the tire has been on for a while. Once you get the bead broken, it's not too bad for these small tires, but how do you break the bead? Well, you could fight and use hammers and all kinds of stuff with it, or you could get something really heavy just to push down on it to break the bead. I don't know, like maybe a car? Seriously. So I'm going to take this, especially since the tire is bad, we don't care about it anyway. I'm going to set it right there so that as I back up over it, I'm backing up like right next to the rim, and I'm just going to back up over it. Let me get the car started up. I'll set you up on a tripod and see how well it works. Might have to do a couple of times, but it works pretty good once you get the hang of it. Alright, let's give this a try. Got my car started up here, so let's back up over it and see how it works. If it doesn't work the first time, just give it another try. A shot. Might have been a little close to it, but that's okay. See how it's broken loose on that side now? Now let's flip it over and get that other side. Maybe not quite as close this time. We'll see. And just like that, we have that bead entirely broken. Check that. Alright, next thing I like to do is take some good old window cleaner or soapy water, whatever. You don't necessarily have to do this on the removal part. I go ahead and do it anyway. It just makes the bead of the tire ride up over this rim edge a little bit easier. And we need a couple of big screwdrivers to start prying it over the edge here. So let me set you up down on the ground so we can watch out. Alright, I'll try to keep you guys in focus properly here, but basically you're going to push this down so that this kind of seats toward the middle of the tire as much as possible, and you can pinch it on one side if you need to get both sides at the same time, but that kind of lets this move this way. Grab your screwdriver, stick it under there, and pry it up over. See how there's a spot like that? grab another screwdriver, get a second spot in here, and this is where you can fight with the screwdrivers all you want. You can be real careful, maybe use something like a hammer, stand inside it, and just pull. Okay, we have one side free. So we kind of sort of repeat the process to get the next one. Got that lip started. Might need a couple of screwdrivers here. And if you stand on it, put some weight on it to hold it down. This back side's always a little bit more difficult. Oops. Just keep working at it here. There we go. Tire's off. Now, clean up the edge of your rim here because you got stuff on that. So let's clean the inside up and we'll be right back. All right, got that cleaned up. So let's take our new tire here. Take this. Give it a good spray. And the new tire also. And you just kind of work it up in here and start pushing it in place. And this can be a pain, a royal pain on a new tire. Let me tell you, I mean a real pain. The problem is this is not going up onto the bead here. So, but anyway, you've got to get this in the right position and just kind of work it around. Like I said, it can be a royal pain. I've got to, there we go, start pulling this up. Bit by bit. Okay, let me fight with this to try to get this on. This is the hardest part. This just does not want to fit on sometimes, so you're going to have to fight it. All right, it's on there. Put up a fight, but it's on. So between, you know, putting your knees on one side and taking a screwdriver and start to prying over with the other and, you know, slowly working your way around the edge, you'll eventually get it. Just it's going to put up a fight, so be prepared. Get a couple of big screwdrivers and be ready. But now, how do you get this sealed up against the bead head there so it'll start to seal? That's hard to do, but there's a way you can cheat. I don't have a very big air compressor, so it doesn't have the volume necessary to pump that much air through to do that. But I have a toe strap. Let me show you a trick to using a toe strap to get that bead to seal. All right, so what we're going to do, get rid of this tag, is lay this toe strap out here so it's flat, so that I can wrap the toe strap around the tire on the tread. Hook those together. You got to keep it centered here. There we go. We'll get started. Okay, looks like we may be all right. And if you crank down on this, see how it makes it bulge out? It'll push the bead into the rim. You don't want it too cranked down crazy, but let's take our compressor and see if that's enough to start making that bead seal. Nope, there's air right here leaking out. Maybe too much. Might not be enough. Play around with this a little bit. Get it just right. To reposition a time or two on one of these new tires. Tell where the air's coming out. Sorry about that, but when I start to put air in, check that out. Take this off. I still got to seal this part of the bead. There it goes. Now I can put my valve stem piece back in. Get back in there. And give it some proper air. So let's air it up now. And it's holding air. 7.5 pounds. Alrighty, so I don't hear any air leaking out. And that's it. That's how you put a tire on a rim by yourself in your garage or your driveway or whatever. This all total took me, because I was filming, about 20 minutes, so not that bad. If I wouldn't have been filming, probably would have been 10, 15, if that. So it's all set to go back on my boat now. Thanks for watching.